everyone, and happy 1st of November. Happy daylight savings time. I hope you enjoyed the extra hour of sleep. I know I did. So here we are. This is a continuation of last week's story of Isaac and Rebecca. So remember, last week, Isaac and Rebecca, they had a set of twins, and they named them Jacob and Esau. And remember, Esau was born covered in red hair, and Jacob was holding on to Esau's foot. Kind of crazy how all that went about. But this is now about when Jacob and Esau are older. They're a little bit older. Isaac is well on in years, and so Isaac can't see very well. And so he's kind of stuck in bed. Now here's a problem. I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I don't have a favorite child. I can't. I love them all so much. And so I can't have a favorite child, but they did. Isaac really loved Esau. And Rebecca, well, she really loved Jacob. And so we got a problem here. The brothers didn't get along because they were favorites for either parent. So the time came when it was time for Isaac to give the blessing to the oldest son. Well, that would be Esau. But they believed that Jacob should have been born first, and that's why he was holding on to the heel of Esau. That Esau took away the birthright from Jacob. And of course, Rebecca loved Jacob so much that she devised a plan so that Jacob could get the birthright. The birthright only went to the oldest. Isaac is blind, and he is stuck in bed. So Esau comes to Jacob and says, "Father, you sent for me." And Isaac told Esau, "Go out and prepare for me my meal. Go out and hunt for me." Esau was a great hunter. "Go out and hunt for me and make my favorite stew. And after I've eaten, I'll give you your birthright." So Esau left and went hunting. Now, Rebecca heard all of this. So she goes to her favorite son, Jacob, and says to him, "Jacob, here's what your father just said. And I think you should get the birthright. So I'm going to prepare a special meal, and you take it in and you give it to your father." And Jacob says, "But that won't work because Esau's covered in red hair and he smells like animals. I'm not covered in red hair and I don't have that smell about me that Esau does." Rebecca says, "Oh, I got it all figured out for you. We're going to take some goat hair. We'll cover you in goat hair, and so you'll smell like the animals and you'll feel like them too." So Rebecca fixes all the food, gives it to Jacob. Jacob goes in and gives it to his father. Now Isaac, even though he's blind, he's got a great sense of insight about him, and he says, you don't sound like Esau. Come closer." And he says, "Reach out your hand." So Jacob reaches out his hand, which is covered in the goat hair, and Isaac reaches out his and touches Jacob's hand, which is covered in goat hair, and he says, "Well, you feel like my son Esau, and you smell like him. I guess you just sound like your brother today." And he ate the food, and he gave Jacob the birthright. Jacob left the tent, and guess who showed up? Esau. Now, You think that's not a battle waiting to happen? Oh, yeah. Rebekah sees Esau coming, and she comes to Jacob and says, "Run for your life. Take everything and run for your life." So Jacob ran. Esau goes into his father and says, "Here is your meal." And that's when they realized the deception that had just happened. For the rest of their years, Jacob and Esau were on battlegrounds with each other. They were constantly hunting each other down. There's so much more to the story. I read the book of Genesis about Jacob and Esau and these two brothers and how they fought and how they ran from each other and how they came together and how they fought and ran from each other and how they came together. It's a great story, but it's also a story of deception and trickery. But it's also a story of God's love because God was with Jacob in all of this. God was preparing Jacob for so much more than he could ever have imagined of what happened in the tent when he was a teenager. God has so much planned for you as well. You may not see what's going on ahead of you, and that's okay. I don't either. But be ready. God has a plan for your life, and you just got to be ready. You guys have a great day. Happy Sunday. Happy November. Happy daylight savings. Bye.